Hiya, welcome back to another one of my videos. If you like the outfit that was in the thumbnail, it's linked in the description. And if you want to grab yourself a cuppa, pause this video, grab yourself a cuppa, feel free to go ahead. So, this video is all about my experience with psychosis. So, we'll just get straight into the video. We're going to rewind back 20 years first so you can get a gist of why things happened and, get into the flow of things. So 20 years ago, I was at college and I didn't speak about it till this day, and I've been quiet about it until now, but I'm not going to be quiet about it any longer because it was real to me. It happened and it did impact my life in a severe way. Probably still impacts me now in certain things that I do, but I was bullied really, really badly, severely bullied by a group of people. I'm not going to go into names and say who people were, but I was bullied really badly. And at the same time, I was smoking a lot of cannabis at school, at college, in all like secretive, like no one, my family didn't really know about what was going on. I feel like I was trying to escape from reality, escape from what was happening to me at college. I hated going to college. I put on a front every day, but really the bullying was really bad. But people might think, oh, we're only making fun of you. Oh, it was only a joke, you can't take a joke. No, it was really bad for me. It was really severe and it affected me in a really bad way. So I smoked a lot of cannabis. Anyway, that I didn't think that would affect me in any way, shape or form. So that was then. Then about 5 years later, I started hearing voices, abusive voices, which I think were related to the bullying, because the voices were very abusive and the bullying I would class as abusive as well. So the voices that I was hearing were very abusive. And when I went to the doctors, they said that the reason why I was hearing voices, I was having a psychotic episode and it was related to the cannabis that I was smoking. So they reckon it was an onset. It was started from this cannabis that I was smoking at college. So at my worst time during the psychosis, I was cross-sectioned and sent to a mental institution. So I was really bad, in a really bad way. So yeah, I was in the mental institution and I was in there for a month or so, a couple of months. And they looked after me and I really enjoyed my time there. When the doctors thought I was better, because I might have given the impression, I might have looked like I was well, they thought I was better, they let me out of the mental institution, but really I don't think I was that well within myself. I was still very vulnerable, and I wasn't really all there and wasn't in my right mind. And wait there, let me have a sip of this. And I met my boyfriend, who turned out to be an abusive partner to me. I was with him for about 4 years, just over 4 years, something like that. And the relationship, I felt like I was walking on eggshells. He was severely paranoid. He was very jealous, very possessive. The relationship was highly abusive, emotionally abusive, physically abusive. The physical abuse was not all the time. It was a few times a year, but when it happened, it was very intense. So intense that on some occasions I thought I could have lost my life. But as all women do, well, most women do in abusive relationships, they keep going back to the abuser because they obviously apologise and say they didn't mean it and they were sorry and they'll never do it again. And then the person who's been abused will believe them and go back to them. So that happened on a number of occasions. During the relationship, I got addicted to Class A drugs with my partner, and I felt like that was worse drugs than what I was smoking at college at the time. And these drugs um, took over my life and could have ended up with me being homeless because my family was starting to disown me, even though they were still in the background because they sort of knew that my partner was abusive, and they didn't want to leave me completely because they wanted me to know they were still there for me if I wanted to leave him and come back to my family. So it was a really tricky one. It was a really difficult situation for my family to be in because they loved me, they saw what he was like, they saw how abusive he was to me, they saw the kind of person I was becoming, and they didn't want to let me go, but at the same time they didn't like who I had become. So I could have ended up losing everything, losing my family, being homeless on the street because I would have had no money and everything, and my life would have gone, everything would have gone wrong. Well, it was going wrong. It was going on a downward spiral. Um, and then for some reason, me and my ex-partner at the time, the abusive guy, we decided that we wanted to have a child. I know it sounds really stupid. I think it sounds stupid when you think about it, but it was the best thing that could have ever happened because having my daughter literally saved my life. If God didn't bless me with my daughter when He did, because I believe in divine timing, God's timing, if God didn't bless me with my daughter at that time when she came into my life, I really seriously think I wouldn't be here today. I would have been dead. I would have still been in that abusive relationship, and he would have ended up killing me. He probably doesn't think he was that bad as well. All abusers don't think they're that bad, but you know, he was really bad. I could have ended up dead. So if it wasn't for my daughter coming along and saving my life, I owe her everything. I owe God everything. Because of her, my life has took a 360 turn. Everything's changed for the better. So I totally let go of my ex. Obviously, I had my family support, the support of God, and I had to use willpower to make me strong. I thought if I can overcome certain things, if I can overcome certain things from my past, I can definitely leave him and be strong and look forward with my family's support, which is what I did. So when I was getting support from my family, and I was feeling strong within myself. I was getting help from the job centre on benefits because I was unemployed. The job centre helped me become self-employed because I couldn't find a job. It was so hard for me to get a job at that time. I couldn't find a job at all. It was really difficult, so I thought, let me make myself an opportunity. No one wants to employ me. I'll become self-employed. So I had a business idea to become a holistic beauty therapist. Oh yeah, I've got to tell you something which I forgot to tell you at the time. While I was in the abusive relationship, I did study beauty and holistic therapies. God knows how I got through that course, because every day when I came home, when I was living with my partner, every time I came home to him, he'd ask me, who were you talking to? Where did you go? Who did you speak to? Did you speak to any men? I know, I've got my spies at college. I'm going to find out what you've been doing at college. And sometimes I'd get hit, sometimes I wouldn't. Sometimes he'd be nice, sometimes he wouldn't. But I got through that. God helped me get through that college course. And I had that qualification, which brings me back to what I'm talking about. The job centre helped me become self-employed, and I had that qualification which I got through while I was being abused. And so I thought, yeah, I'm going to go into holistic and beauty therapy. And so I became self-employed. Unfortunately, that first business wasn't a success. I couldn't keep up with the rent. My outgoings were too much more than what I was earning, and I had to give that business up. So after I gave that up, I can't quite remember what happened at the time, what I was doing, but I was still in a good frame of mind. I wasn't going back to any badness. I wasn't going back to any ex. I was still looking forward with my future. So I don't know. Oh yeah, during that time when I gave up my self-employment, I did find a job. I worked for a different company in the south, beauty and holistic industry, but it wasn't as good as working for yourself. So I gave that a go. I got a bit more experience and stuff like that. But then anyway, I gave that up, and then back in 2015, I became self-employed again. I renamed my business Soul of Heart UK, and since then, with a few hiccups because of things that happened, the global crisis that happens, um, with a few hiccups with that, I've remained self-employed. I've moved from different locations due to the rent being an issue, but obviously now I found somewhere which the rent suits me really well, and I'm building up a client base again, because when you move different locations, that can take its toll on your business. So yeah, I'm doing that. But also in 2020, I officially became a singer-songwriter. So I use everything, all my past life experiences, to write my songs about my past, and I go to studio with my producer, and I record them. He does the music. Together we make my music something which I can promote on social media. And so I'm a holistic and beauty therapist, and I'm a singer-songwriter, and I believe that everything, all my past life experience, has got me to where I am today. I've come so far, and I owe everything to God. Obviously, at the time when I was going through my mental illness, the really bad part of my mental illness, my abusive relationship and my drug addiction, I was trying to find out about God, but God wasn't in my life because I didn't allow him to come into my life. But when I realised he was there in the background, my faith in God and the law of attraction, the universe, angels, became stronger, and I learned about God's timing, divine timing, and stuff like that, and about how everything happens at the right time. Everything happens for a reason. Everything in your life is either a lesson or a blessing. When you've had the lesson, a blessing will surely follow. And if you view life like that, you'll look back at your life and think, oh, these events were supposed to happen because it's led me to where I am today, to who I am today. I'm also, because I work at my holistic and beauty business on a part-time basis, it gives me time to do my other side hustles on a part-time basis. So, I've got other things going on. I'm not going to go into too much detail about them. I'll tell you one, I'm an Amazon affiliate. I might do a separate video about all my other side hustles, but I've got time other days to work on my side hustles, which I know I've got faith in myself. I'm going to generate income from all these side hustles, and I'm going to make something of my life. I'm going to make myself into a somebody when people thought I was a nobody. At one time, my mum asked the doctors when I had my worst psychotic episode, she said to them, will she ever get better? And I think they laughed at her and shook their head and said no. Basically, they thought I was going to be a dead cabbage. My head was frazzled. I was going to be a cabbage forever, brain dead, not able to do anything with my life in the mental health system. But I proved them wrong. I might have had a couple of minor relapses since the major one, but other than that, my life has been smooth. I've been free from the voices. I've been able to you know, take steps in order to look after my mental health, which means getting enough sleep, working on a part-time basis, walking, doing exercise, listening to music, making my music, singing my songs, writing songs to help me release past emotions and get over my past and move on. Forgiving people from my past, even though I forgive, doesn't mean I've forgotten. You can forgive, you don't have to forget, but you don't have to have those people in your life. You might come to a stage where you think, yeah, I put up with certain things, but my presence is too valuable to be around certain people. So I'm going to remove myself from certain situations, and so I can flourish on my own. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah. So let me just finish. This is going to get really. This is green tea. I just want to finish a little bit more. Hang on, right there. I hope I'm not slurping on the camera. Oh, I've been told I slurp my tea. I hope I'm not. But anyway, we all do it. So yeah, it's just a cup of tea. So anyway, yeah. So as you can see, I've had a rocky life, but I feel like I'm the most optimistic, happy, blessed person. I am so lucky. Even though all this stuff happened to me, I am so lucky. I survived when many people didn't survive to tell their tale. So I know that God has made me survive. He saved me for a reason. He saved me so I can be a voice for people who haven't got a voice. He saved me so I can live to tell my tale. He saved me so I can live to sing my songs and reach a wider audience and be a singer-songwriter and heal people at work, because I've been told I've got healing hands. So I heal people at work through being a holistic and beauty therapist. So, everything that broke me or was sent to kill me has only made me stronger. Everything with my mental illness, with the domestic violence, with the drug addiction that was sent to knock me off course has put me right on track to where I'm supposed to be in my life. I'm truly blessed. I thank you, God. I thank you, God, so much. Praying is really helpful. Praying is vital. Even if you don't know God, even if you're going through something major in your life and you don't know God, believe me, God is in the background. The universe, angels, everyone is working, whether it's working against you or for you. Your thoughts are creating your reality. When you become a positive person and know that God, universe, angels exist, and you let that into your life and become positive, they will start working with you in a more positive way. You will attract more positive life experiences to you. Doesn't mean your life will be smooth sailing. Doesn't mean everything will go your way and you won't have hiccups every now and again. But you'll learn better how to deal with them. You'll learn how to deal with things and learn how to know when something is a lesson and something is a blessing. So yeah, I wouldn't touch drugs till this day. I mean, I used to drink alcohol when I went out with my friends, you know, on the evening. I don't really touch alcohol now. I might have one if I go out for a meal or, in the evening. But really, I'm free from drugs, free from smoking, free from a little bit of alcohol, but, my mind is clear. I am a changed person. If people come into my life now and they'll be like, oh yeah, I know you, I used to know you, I'll be like, no, hang on, you don't know me. You don't know who I am now. Let me allow myself to introduce myself. Do you know what I mean? I'm not that person who I was 15 years ago. I'm not that person who I was 20 years ago. I've evolved. We are all spiritual beings. We can all evolve into a higher self. I've evolved into my higher self. I am now who I'm supposed to be, where I'm supposed to be in life. And I owe everything to God. Thank you, God. My family as well. Thank you to my family. And my daughter. Thank you to my daughter. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Everything bad happened to me for a reason. I am now who I'm supposed to be. and I'm truly grateful. And I hope that if you can take anything away from this video, you can take away that people can go through the hardest times, through the worst times of their lives, but they can turn it around. You can turn it around. You can turn the worst situation into the best situation possible for you, for yourself, for your family, for your daughter, for your son, for anyone who you love in your life. You can turn it around. God is there, the universe is there, angels are there. They will help you turn your life around. Just because you're a bad person today, just because you're in a bad situation today, and you might have mental health problems, you might be in a domestically abusive relationship, you might be addicted to drugs, this day isn't the rest of your life. You can change your life today, begin today. This can be the first day of your new life. You can change your life for the better. Start today, start now. Don't let your past hold you back. That past version of you is no longer you. You can erase it from your life, erase it, all of that. Start afresh, start now. You have the rest of your life ahead of you to make a change. I believe it's truly possible. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll put all my links in the description and in the first comment. And yeah, until next time, see you soon. Bye.